afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here as we gather to honor the incredible men and women who have served our country with courage, commitment, and sacrifice. Today, we pause to recognize the veterans among us, heroes who answered the call to protect our freedom, uphold justice, and defend the values we hold so dear. Their courage in the face of adversity, their resilience in times of hardship, and their unwavering sense of duty are legacies that shape our nation's history. To our veterans here today, we thank you. Your bravery, commitment, and love of country inspires us all. We owe a debt that cannot be repaid. So today, we honor your service, remember your sacrifices, and commit to standing beside you, just as you stood for us. I'd like to ask any service members and veterans who are here today to please stand. Thank you. At this time, we will have the presentation of the flag by Ms. Mindy Bode and Claire Sullivan. Please stand, if able, and join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for the national anthem sung by the Highlighters.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets trembling, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner
Thank you. You may be seated. Now we will listen to a beautiful rendition of Amazing Grace performed by the Highlighters. We will now pay tribute to our veterans with some selected readings by some of our National Honor Society members.
We left home as teenagers or in our early 20s for an unknown adventure. We loved our country enough to defend it and protect it with our lives. We said goodbye to friends and family and everything we knew. We learned the basics, and then we scattered in the wind to the far corners of the earth. We found new friends and new family. We became brothers and sisters regardless of color, race, or creed. We had plenty of good times and plenty of bad times. We didn't get enough sleep. We worked hard and played harder. We didn't earn a great wage. We experienced the happiness of mail call and the sadness of missing important events. We didn't know when or even if we were ever going to see home again. We grew up fast, and yet somehow we never grew up at all. We fought for our freedom as well as the freedom of others. Some of us saw actual combat, and some of us didn't. Some of us saw the world, and some of us didn't. Some of us dealt with physical warfare. Most of us dealt with psychological warfare. We have seen and experienced and dealt with things that we can't fully describe or explain, as not all our sacrifices were physical. We participated in time-honored ceremonies and rituals with each other, strengthening our bonds and camaraderie. We counted on each other to get our job done, and sometimes to survive it all. We have dealt with victory and tragedy. We have celebrated and mourned. We lost a few along the way. When our adventure was over, some of us went back home, some of us started somewhere new, and some of us never came home at all. We have told amazing and hilarious stories of our exploits and adventures. We share an unspoken bond with each other that most people don't experience and few will understand. We speak highly of our own branch of service and poke fun at other branches. We know, however, that if needed, we will be there for our brothers and sisters and stand together as one in a heartbeat. Being a veteran is something that had to be earned, and it can never be taken away. It has no monetary value, but at the same time, it is a priceless gift. People see a veteran and they thank them for their service. When we see each other, we give that little upwards head nod or a slight smile, knowing that we have shared and experienced things that most people have not. So from myself to the rest of the veterans out there, I commend and thank you for all that you have done and sacrificed for your country. Try to remember the good times and make peace with the bad times.
I am a veteran. You may not know me the first time we meet. I'm just another face you see on the street. But I am the reason you walk and breathe free. I am the reason for your liberty. I am a veteran. I work in the local factory all day. I own the restaurant just down the way. I sell you insurance. I start your IV. I've got the best looking grandkids you'll ever see. I am your grocer, your banker, your child's school teacher. I'm your plumber, your barber, and your family's preacher. But there's a part of me you don't know very well. Just listen a moment. I have a story to tell. I am a veteran. I joined the service while still in my teens. I traded my prom dress for camouflage greens. I am the first in my family to do something like this. I followed my father like he followed his. Defying my fears and hiding my doubt, I married my sweetheart before I shipped out. I missed Christmas, then Easter, the birth of my son, but I knew I was doing what had to be done. I served on the battlefront, I served on the base. I bound up the wounded and begged for God's grace. I gave orders to fire, I followed commands. I marched into conflicts, into distant far lands. In the jungle, the desert, on the mountains and shores, in bunkers and tents on dank earthen floors. While I fought on the ground, in the air, on the sea, my family and friends were home praying for me. For the land of the free and the home of the brave, I faced my demons in foxholes and caves. Then one dreaded day, without drummer or fife, I lost an arm and my buddy lost his life. I came home and moved on, but forever was changed. The perils of war in my memory remained. I don't really say much, I don't feel like I can, but I left home a child and came home a man. There are thousands like me, thousands more who are gone, but their legacy lives as time marches on. White crosses in rows and names carved in Q remind us of what these brave souls had to do. I'm part of a fellowship, a strong, mighty band of each man and each woman who has served this great land. And when Old Glory waves, I stand proud, I stand tall. I helped keep her flying over you, over all. I am a veteran.
The sacrifice of Nathan Hale, one life to give. Long before there were veterans, there were patriots who first dared to fight for America's freedom. One of them was Nathan Hale, a 21-year-old school teacher turned soldier during the Revolutionary War. In 1776, General George Washington needed someone to spy on the British in New York City. It was a mission few wanted. It meant certain death if captured, but Nathan Hale volunteered. He crossed enemy lines disguised as a schoolmaster, gathering intelligence for the Continental Army. Unfortunately, Hill was discovered. The British captured him and sentenced him to hang. On the morning of his execution, alone and facing death, he spoke words that still echo through our history. I only regret that I have but one life to lose for our country. Nathan Hale didn't live to see the birth of the nation he died for, but his courage became a symbol of the spirit that defines America. Young, determined, and willing to sacrifice everything for freedom.
Next, the high school band will be playing the piece Armed Forces on Parade. Any veteran or family member is invited to stand, if able, during the song for your branch of the military.
United States Coast Guard. United States Space Force. United States Air Force. United States Navy. United States Marine Corps. United States Army.
Thank you, band. At this time, we would like to recognize a special community member and veteran, Mr. Roderick Smith II. Rod is a very special person to the McBain School District, and it is an honor to recognize him today. Please enjoy this video tribute created by the Rambler Review to honor Rod.
Hello, this is Wyatt Zeiderveen, and I today get to interview a very special part of our community. I am joined today by Mr. Rod Smith. How are you doing today, Rod?
Pretty good.
Good, I'm glad to hear. So, most of us already know you for your influence at our high school, whether it's attending a lot of the games or even making snacks for all of our sports teams, which I greatly appreciate. Before that, however, our friend served his country. I would personally like to thank you, Mr. Smith, for your service and ask you a couple of questions about your time in your service. So first off, I'm wondering how long you served, what branch, and what you served.
Well, I served in the United States Navy, both the Fleet and the Fighting Seabees. 5 years with the Fleet, 10 years with the 26th Battalion. For a total of 15 years overall, from 1985 to 2000.
Gotcha. And what did you do?
I was a yeoman, actually.
Okay.
Which means that I was a paper pusher, working in the office with the officers and typing up memorandums, letters of correspondence, acting as a government courier from time to time. 4 separate occasions where I carried for your eyes only documents.
Okay.
So on and so forth.
Got you. And
Administrative.
got you. What made you want to join the Navy?
Actually, my first choice was to follow my father into the Army, but he did not want me to join the post-Vietnam Army because it had fallen apart, wasn't the same thing. I took a shot at the Marine Corps and actually was doing pretty well, but they needed my high school diploma, and by the time I completed summer school and came back, my recruiter had transferred, and the area commander was not particularly nice to me, so I called the Navy recruiter directly from his desk. And that's how I ended up in the Navy.
Alrighty. And then during your time of service, what was the most challenging thing that you had to face?
Well, as soon as I was assigned to V2 Division, I had a bombshell dropped in my lap that came straight down from the Chief of Naval Operations. He wanted to make the entire carrier fleet about 25% safer. They were losing 24 lives a year, about 4 people every time a carrier went to sea for half a year. Not to mention aircraft damage to flight decks and the like. And while the aviation experts at Lakehurst, New Jersey wrote the rough draft, what they really needed was a layman like myself, so that anyone out of high school and recruit training could understand what the experts had written, go up on that flight deck and not cause fatal accidents. So suddenly I found myself not just the administrator for V2 Division on board the Ike, but suddenly I had the responsibility of making the carrier fleet safer. After 18 months in the shipyards and working on it, it came time to send it back up to the guys at Lakehurst. Then came a question and answer period. They liked my answers, left the document just the way I wrote it. And then they sent it up for signature by the Chief of Naval Operations himself. Then we had to guinea pig our own work when we deployed to the Mediterranean to see if the program actually worked. We were the first of 6 carriers to come back with no loss of life, no flight deck accidents, no loss of aircraft, no damage. We actually had the Undersecretary of the Navy come on board to congratulate us. Then the program was released Navy-wide, and the Chief of Naval Operations was thrilled with the results. Like I said, he was hoping for a 25% improvement. Instead, the carrier fleet became 70% safer to operate. Those flight decks are a lot safer. So it saves about 18 lives a year since it was implemented in 1989, so roughly 600 lives to date.
Really?
But it scared the socks off of me. Here I am, an absolute nobody down at the bottom feeding, and suddenly they want me to do what? Mm-hmm. I'm glad I did as well as I did. I was nominated for the Navy Achievement Medal by my division officer. And while my commanding officer could have approved it, he felt that my actions required higher authority, so he bumped it up, and my first Navy Achievement Medal actually came to me from the Commander, Naval Air Force, U.S. Atlantic Fleet.
Really? Gotcha.
So not often that a Vice Admiral gives an E4 or a medal like that, unless they work very directly with the gentleman, which I did not.
Alrighty. And throughout your military experience, what did you learn from your time in service?
That you never know what the heck's going to happen next on any given day. On one occasion, I was in civilian clothes going ashore. I talked to my counterpart, the V1 Division Yeoman, for about 15 seconds. Told him, pick you up the next morning. He hadn't been off the ship in a month. He was a newbie on board. Nice kid, though. And then they screwed up the power transfer, and, I ended up completing a dead man's mission as well as making my first casualty report while wearing civilian clothes. Quite unexpected at the time. I just thought I was going to go out and have a good time on the town. Instead, I had to turn around and go right back onto duty and complete his task for him.
Gotcha. And so the last question for the day is, what are you most proud of?
Saving a lot of lives. Saving a lot of lives. There was a fire that occurred on board the Ike toward the end of the shipyards. Now, everybody had been smelling welding smoke for 18 months. Nobody was looking for a fire, but something about it was different that day. Took me a little while. Kind of played hot potato, cold potato. Doesn't smell as strong here, smells stronger there. Kept going back to the epicenter. Finally found a pipe flange billowing smoke. Cleared out a berthing of the people that were in it. Had one of them called Damage Control Central. Broke out a fire hose, went down to put the fire out. The repair party showed up. They added in a can of AFFF, did put the fire out. The next day I found out from my commanding officer that that fire was in our primary jet fuel, which was nearly an empty tank, a several million gallon tank inside ballistic armor plate with only 3 or 4 inches of fuel left. And in another 5 minutes, it would have hit flash point and literally blown the Eisenhower apart, killing all hands. So I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of the All-Ramp program because that too has saved a lot of lives. I never thought that just being a paper pusher could result in so much, but you never know what circumstance are going to pop up.
Mm-hmm. All righty. Well, Mr. Smith, thank you for your time, and it's been an honor to interview you today. We here at McBain, we really appreciate your service and what you do for our community, and we're wishing you the best. So thank you for taking time out of your day to be with me.
If I might add one more thing, in my 10 years of service with the Seabees, 5 years in, I became the only Seabee military expert in the history of that force. A title that was created by the commander, Naval Construction Force, to describe just me. And all because I kept asking for the instructor school, but being a fleet rate, they didn't want to give me that, but they gave me all the schools that they drew information from. Then when they tried to send me to the school to grandfather me in, I had already been promoted out of pay grade for that school. So it kind of forced their hand to scratch their heads and figure out what to do with me. And so the CO kicked it up to the regiment, who kicked it up all the way to brigade. And the next time I walked on duty, I suddenly found out, Domini, new title just for you.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that covers it pretty well in a nutshell.
Okay. Well, again, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it, and thank you for your service. Our community really appreciates everything that you've done and everything that you do.
It was a good 15 years. I wish I could have made it 30. And thank you for your time.
The service members we honor today came from all walks of life, but they shared several fundamental qualities. They possessed courage, pride, determination, selflessness, dedication to duty, and integrity. All qualities needed to serve a cause larger than oneself. To our younger generation, let today be a reminder of the importance of service. Whether in uniform, in our communities, or in the quiet, everyday actions of kindness, we each have the power to make a difference. The legacy of our veterans challenges us to build a country worthy of their sacrifice, a nation grounded in justice, united in purpose, and driven by a common resolve. The band is going to perform one more song for us, but I would like to say thank you to everyone who came and was involved in our program today. Have a wonderful day, and God bless. Thank you again for coming. Thank you, veterans, and happy Veterans Day to all of you. Student body, please stay seated until our community members and guests are out of the auditorium.